Hey George, how is it going?
Hey there, I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. What's up with you today?
Well, I've been thinking about atheism lately, and I'm beginning to wonder, is atheism just an absence of belief, or could the absence of belief also count as a belief? Let me give you an example of what I mean. If someone says they don't believe in unicorns, that is still a form of belief, which is that they believe that unicorns don't exist. So when atheists say things like they don't believe in God, it could still be a form of belief, even if it means that they believe that God doesn't exist. Do you think that an absence of belief can still count as a belief?
Yeah, I see what you mean. And even if someone says they don't believe in something like unicorns, they're still kind of expressing a belief. Uh, it's just that their belief is in the idea of no unicorns. So if atheism is a lack of belief in God, it's still a kind of belief, just one about the absence of God. It's interesting how even not believing can still shape how we see the world.
Yeah, because if you think about it, religious people can still play the same card as atheists. Religion can be framed as the rejection of the idea that there is no God, and it would still make sense, right?
Yeah, that's a cool angle. You could definitely look at it that way. Religious belief could also be seen as rejecting the idea that there's no God, kind of like how atheism rejects the idea of God existing. It's almost like both sides are built on a similar foundation of belief, just pointing in different directions. They're both reacting to the same concept, but in opposite ways. It shows that belief doesn't always have to be about affirming something, it can also be about rejecting something else.
And the more interesting part is that there are certain worldviews that get automatically attached once you accept that there is no God. Like you have to believe that humans create value, create their own values. You have to believe that life came about as an accident. You kind of have to believe that life is meaningless, even though it looks meaningful at the moment. That sounds like a creed to me. Or what do you think?
I think you're onto something. When you take away a central belief like God, something has to fill that space. It doesn't just stay empty. So, yeah, to live without God, you still need some structure to explain things where meaning comes from, why morality matters, how to make sense of suffering. And if you line up all those assumptions, it really does start to look like its own belief system. Even if it doesn't have rituals or temples, it still has core beliefs people live by, almost like an invisible religion.
And these creeds are the exact opposite of the religious worldview. Let me explain what I mean. So, religious people believe that God creates morality and values, so human beings don't get to decide those things. Atheists don't believe there is God, so humans create values. Religious people believe that we should worship God because God is the most important thing. Atheists believe that the most important thing is anything you decide for yourself. So, atheism is not nothing, it's the exact opposite approach to the religious worldview.
Yeah, that's a sharp observation. It's like a mirror image. One defines itself by what it believes in, and the other by what it doesn't. But both still end up shaping how people live. Whether you think meaning is given or made, you still live according to some framework. So when atheism says there's no ultimate source of meaning, it doesn't erase meaning, it just shifts the burden onto the individual. That's still a belief with real consequences, not just an empty space.
Basically, what I'm trying to point out is that you can't really escape the idea of having a belief system because simply saying you don't believe in something doesn't automatically free you from the need to believe in something else. So, when religious people say things like atheism is just another form of religion, this is kind of what they're talking about. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. It's almost like rejecting one belief doesn't leave you in a neutral state. It just opens the door to new beliefs. If you take away a belief in God, you still have to believe in something to make sense of the world. Whether it's about creating your own values or finding meaning in life, you're still operating within a framework of belief. So, in a way, atheism isn't belief free at all. It's just a different set of beliefs about life and existence.
It's funny how just as there is no vacuum in nature, that law applies to the psyche too. There's no vacuum in the mind. If you reject something, you are basically accepting something else. Once something leaves, something else takes its place, even if you don't plan for it.
Exactly. The mind doesn't leave empty space. If you remove one belief, something else has to fill that gap. It's kind of like how you can't just not think about something, it always gets replaced with something else. Even if it's a belief that seems passive, like I don't believe in God, it still defines how you approach the world. So it's not that atheism is a blank slate, it's a different kind of belief that fills the space left behind.
Yeah, very good point. The only way to actually stop thinking about something is to think about something else. You can't just not think.
Exactly. The mind works by constantly shifting focus. So when you try to not think about something, you're not actually making it disappear, you're just replacing it with something else. The same goes for beliefs. You can't just stop believing in one thing without adopting another framework to fill the void. It's not about creating a blank space, it's about shifting your focus to a new set of ideas.
I did not expect this conversation to go in that direction, but I guess I always subconsciously drag every conversation down into some psychological concepts. So it's probably my fault.
It's cool though. This stuff is all interconnected. Beliefs, psychology, values, they're all part of how we understand the world. It's interesting how a simple discussion about atheism turned into exploring how the mind works and how beliefs fit into it. But that's the thing. Belief systems, whether we realize it or not, are built into the very way we think and process everything. It all ties back to how we make sense of existence.
Okay, George, I think this is a very good place to stop. So can you wrap this up for us?
So, in the end, belief isn't something you can really escape. Whether you're accepting something or rejecting it, your mind fills that space with something else. It's never truly empty. If you like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a comment. We'd love to hear your thoughts.
So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And see you guys in the next video. Peace.